everyone, welcome back. I'm so excited to share this video with you because we've finally begun training here in Surin. This week has been all about laying the groundwork. And I don't just mean building the training wall, though, yes, we did do that. We also had meetings with elephant owners, figured out what food we're going to use as reinforcement, where to get it, how much it costs, you know, all the unglamorous behind-the-scenes stuff. But now we're officially in motion. This week, elephants started arriving for their first training sessions. Each elephant has their own scheduled time slot. We're not having everyone show up at once. And that's because many of these elephants don't know each other, and a crowded or chaotic environment could make the experience stressful. We're doing everything we can to make this as positive and low stress as possible. Our goal this week was simple: help the elephants get used to the training space, get used to me, and start building a connection between this place and good things, like snacks, of course. In positive reinforcement training, we want the elephants to want to be here. We want them to see that training wall and think, yes, I love this place. So this week we didn't ask for much. Just come in, take a look around, have some snacks if you like, and hopefully walk away thinking, this wasn't so bad after all. And of course, every elephant is different. So, without any further ado, let me introduce you to the elephants we worked with this week and how each one reacted. First up, we had Thong, who's 17, and her 4-year-old daughter, Sai Thong. They had a lot to say on that first day. We planned to use sugarcane as our rewards, but neither of them were interested, which is totally understandable. It's a new place and new people, and they were probably a little too nervous or maybe even too curious to focus on food. So we didn't push. We let them explore, wander, and just get used to everything. I did try offering Sai Thong some treats on that first day, but she was way more interested in playing. Again, this is very normal for a 4-year-old. It's kind of like trying to get a human toddler to sit still at Disneyland. So the next day, we brought more exciting food, like bananas and cucumber. They like this much better, and that worked better. For Mom, anyway, for Thong. But Sai Thong was still too excited to stand still. She came over now and then for a quick snack, but then she was off again. So we spoke with her owner and explained that there's really no pressure. We'll work with Sai Thong as she is. She doesn't have to participate in the training right now. The best thing we can do is to let her run and play and explore and then come to us when she's ready. Next, we had Thong and Gong, ages 17 and 18. Now, they're not biologically related, but they live together and they are super closely bonded. They're basically sisters. And they were both a bit scared at first. And this is where working with the mahouts becomes just as important as working with the elephants. So here, Thong's mahout is trying to help by holding her near the wall by her ear, which is something that they do in free contact, and it's meant with good intention. He's trying to help. I usually have a Thai interpreter, Noom, with me to help communicate things like this, but he was busy that morning. So it was just me and the mahouts and Google Translate. So I was able to explain. It was difficult, but we wanted to tell him that it's okay if the elephants walk away and check the space and check on each other. It's all part of the process. So in the end, we just let them be there and eat some food and settle in. And eventually, They did calm down, and Potang came over and got some treats. That may not seem like much, but that small choice, her choice, was a big win. And again, they both relaxed, and that's exactly what we were hoping for, so I call that a good start. Next up was Nampung. She's 17 years old, and wow, what a pro. She walked in like she'd been doing this her whole life. She's calm, she's curious, and very food motivated. I didn't ask her to do anything at first, just fed her and let her get used to me. Then I gently introduced the very first behavior that we train, and that's the elephants following the trainer. So I take a few steps, and when she follows me, she gets a treat. It's basic, but it's a foundation for all the behaviors. It builds trust, and it sets the stage for everything that comes next. And then we had Duanke, who is 19 years old. Like Nampung, she handled the new situation really well, and she was also very into the treats. With her, I also started working on a safety behavior, and this is not putting her trunk over the middle bar of the training wall. While I love her curiosity, that trunk is powerful, and when we start more detailed training, I need to know where it is at all times for my own safety. So instead of saying no or pushing it away, I just move myself to the other side of that partition there. So that way, she has to lower her trunk to get to me. So when the trunk's down, then she gets the treat. So she caught on really fast, and pretty soon she stopped putting her trunk over that bar altogether. Money and Nampet were next. They're also not related, but they live together and they're very close. They were a little nervous at first, but as soon as the food came out, they became much calmer. Money is 13, and he's also the only male participating in the project, so he was the first to approach. His owner stayed with me the whole time, and that's because Money has a history of aggression. I understand the concern, and so I didn't mind him standing there. The owner doesn't know me yet, and he just wants to keep everyone safe. And the session went really well. Money was calm and polite and engaged. Long term, I'd like to have the owner step back because I want Money to understand that there's no threat of punishment here. So that's how we help him learn to trust and choose calm behaviors. This style of management in training is called protected contact, and it has a lot of benefits. If you want to learn more about protected contact, I'm going to link a video in the description. And that's going to give you a lot more information about why we work behind this barrier and what it allows us to do. Then there was Nampet, and she's 19 years old, and very similar to Duanke in how she responded to me and to the wall. She was curious and open and quick to learn that good things happen when her trunk stays below that middle bar. So we worked on kind of the same stuff. There were a few times where she wanted to leave the training area and check on Money, and her mahout would stop her with a command. So I had Noom, my interpreter, with me this time, and with him we explained that it's totally okay for her to do that. Again, it's about choice and trust. So it's not about making her stand at the training area. If she wants to leave and go check on Money or look around or do something like that, that's okay. In this training, she has the choice to do that. And then when she makes the choice to come back to the training area, of course, she's rewarded for that. So that was our first week. It was a strong start with lots of small wins. We did need to make a few adjustments, like ditching the sugarcane and switching to bananas and cucumbers. The elephants taught us that pretty quick. Another issue we had was that the training area is surrounded by grass and sugarcane, elephant food, that's being grown by another owner for his own elephants. So we had to keep our elephants from kind of sneaking out of the training area over to those fields for a snack. And this was stressful for the mahouts. So Noom and I put off these ropes with these little flags to create a visual barrier. And it worked great. It helped everyone to relax. One of the harder things for me personally at this point in the training is that most of the owners and mahouts don't yet believe in this training. I can see it. I can tell they think it's silly or just not going to work. And that's completely normal. It's always like this at the beginning. The important thing is that they're still showing up and they're willing to give it a chance. And I know that once they start seeing real results, that things will shift. I just have to be patient. I want to just shout to them, trust me. But just like the elephants, trust is something that needs to be earned step by step. Thank you so much for watching and coming along with us for this journey. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this with anyone you know who loves elephants or is curious about ethical training methods. If you're interested in supporting this work further, the link is in the description below. Thanks again so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.